Hey y'all, I'm Dani, and this is Heard. Hi guys, welcome back to Heard the Podcast. I'm your host Dani, and I'm joined by a very special guest, Miss Erin. Is it just Erin, or what do you go by? Just
yeah,
Erin?
we can just go with just Erin.
Okay, so tell the people who you are and what you do and all those good things.
Yes, well, as Dani said, my name's Erin, better known as the Esperanza Maria on all social channels.
Yes, accent, I love it.
Yeah, born and raised in the DMV. I do like lifestyle, fashion, hair, beauty kind of content. Love mental health and try to focus on that as often as possible. And yeah, I'm here. I'm excited.
I had to bring up the thigh boot for you because I know she's gonna come here looking good. I gotta bring something. I gotta pop out some way somehow.
Yes, girl, you better pop out. You look
so
cute.
are you fluent in Spanish or?
No, I would say like I can speak good Spanglish. Okay. And I can get by when we're in like Spanish countries, but I grew up with my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she doesn't speak Spanish or?
No, she's black. Yeah. Okay. So she's like, I speak French. I'm like, okay, girl.
Do you have any Spanish in your family?
Yeah. So my dad, he's Colombian. Oh. Colombian and Puerto Rican. Yeah. So, yeah. But I grew up with my mom, so I spent most of my time with her. But yeah, so like the story behind my name, like on social channels, is like growing up in the DMV. Obviously, like having a government job is like a huge kind of big thing. So my family always was like, don't have your name on any of your social channels. Don't use your real name. This is like pre all social media kind of like blowing up and stuff like that. So I would always have like Spanish names as like my name.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of like how I like use Spanish names. But then like in senior year of high school, you could like elect to take Spanish or not, and I elected to because I wanted to stay up on it as much as possible. My Spanish teacher let us pick our names so they didn't translate into anything Spanish. So I grew up loving.
She said what? She let you do what?
If your name didn't translate to anything Spanish, like so if your name was like John or like it translated into something Spanish, like you could you go with whatever your Spanish name is. But if it didn't translate into anything, then you could pick it. So I loved the book Esperanza Rising growing up. So I chose Esperanza because I love that name. And she was like, you look more like a Maria to me. And I'm like, so I look basic? Not to say that the name Maria, like love the name Maria.
This is a teacher saying this?
Yes. And so she was just like, you just look like more of a Maria to me. Ooh. And it's like, it's like, oh, okay, girl. So I was like, okay, well, we can compromise because Esperanza is the name that I chose. So we can compromise. So I just changed my, because I was like, okay, cool. It kind of flows.
What about you says, but what's wrong? Like, I don't understand
I don't know, girl. I don't know. I think she just wanted more simple names. And I'm just like, no, but I'm unique. You know what I'm saying? And my name, my actual name, Erin, is also very just, it's cool, but it's just Erin. So I wanted
Erin.
It's cool, but it's just I wanted something that was you know what I'm saying? Like some people have
I'm
names.
Here.
Yes,
Beyonce.
Exactly. I want something that says I'm here. So yeah, so I just changed all my social media to Esperanza Maria, and it just stuck. But when I started kind of taking off with everything, I never changed it, and I wanted to change it to something that was witty with my name, but there wasn't a whole lot. It's running errands or let the Erin or you know what I mean? So it's So yeah, so I just stuck with the Esperanza Maria, and yeah, it's kind of embodied its own. It's kind of my alter ego type vibe because although I am very much myself on social media, I do like to be a little bit reclusive, like to be more chill. So when I have to be on, that's Esperanza Maria, So yeah.
What high school did you go to?
I went to 2 different high schools. I went to Bishop McNamara for my first 2 years. And then I went to McDonough down in Pomfret, the La Plata kind of area.
McDonough.
For my,
over there by Thomas Stone and North Point. Okay,
exactly.
So I'm from, that's still kind of, that's Charles County.
Exactly.
I'm from PG County. So I went to 2 schools. I went to Forestville my first 2 years.
Okay.
Then my last 2 years I went to Glen Park.
Oh, Okay.
So yeah, it was still PG, but it's like the borderline of like so now I know the Waldorf schools and stuff.
Right, exactly.
And my cousin went to North Point as well.
Okay. Yeah, my grandparents live right by Glen Park. They live like 10 minutes away from Glen Park.
Mm-hmm. They live in the Chatsford?
No, they live in like Pinefield, so it's like the
mm-hmm.
Brandywine-ish kind of area, but yeah.
And then you went to Towson too.
Yeah, I went to Towson.
I remember meeting you at Towson.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. I know.
What was your major in Towson?
Mass communication. So I was
a
PR.
Boom. There you go. Boom. Just get right on path.
Exactly.
Okay, so before we get into things, I like to play a game with my guests. Okay. So but this time, right? Okay, so I've never had someone like, 'cause I love like creativity across the board, and I usually have a lot of like musicians on here. Mm-hmm. But this is the first time I've had like an actual like content creator on my platform. So so instead of me doing music, it's going to be a this or that. Okay. But instead of me doing, because I asked you, like, are you into movies and stuff? Because but are you really into movies? Like, do you really know? And so I'm going to do movies, and only because like you're into content. I love like aesthetics like you do. Yeah. And like, I don't know, I just feel like there's certain like movies, like coming of age movies or teen movies that just like unlock certain memories. Yes. Especially if you're like a girl and like you're into makeup and hair and things like that.
Exactly.
So we're gonna do that. So go ahead, J-Rod, let's pull it up.
I also grew up loving, like, I do love the beauty and all the things, but I also grew up loving like sports movies too. Oh. So like I love
we're gonna do
here we go.
We're gonna do I love all things too. I love sport, I love action movies, I love all that. But I wasn't sure. But I don't, the thing is, like, I'm not used to I can't usually do things like this with people, so I want to take advantage of that.
I'm here for it.
Okay, so we're doing this or that.
Okay.
Teen movie coming of age movies that unlock memories and stuff. Yeah. So first off, I have so we're doing 10 Things I Hate About You or She's All That.
So I would go with She's All That.
Really?
I grew up watching like I guess it's Freeform now, but it was ABC Family.
It was ABC Family.
It was ABC Family. I think that's what it was.
It was.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I grew up watching that. And so it would always come on, and it would always be on. And 10 Things I Hate About You, like it was cool, but like I just feel like She's All That, like I resonated more with that, because I was like, you know, the girl that was like more like chill or whatever, and like need a little sprucing up, you know, had to have a little butterfly moment.
Yeah, so they both have butterfly or like some sort of transition moment or whatever. Yeah, but Little Kim was in She's All That, and Gabrielle Union was in She's All That. It was more black people in She's All That.
Exactly. You know it was more of us. It was more of a vibe. So I think
Gabrielle Union.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? She was in both of these movies.
Gabrielle
Union was in both of these movies. She was, because she played the little sister's friend on 10 Things About You. Yeah, this is when Gabrielle Union, she was in all the movies, and she was like older than everybody, but she still looked younger than them.
Exactly.
So she was in all the movies.
That's why she was getting cast for. Yeah, she was like in her 20s and getting cast for like the teenage. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right.
She was in
I have honestly, truthfully, only seen 10 Things I Hate About You maybe like twice, and I've seen She's All That a bunch of times.
Because you weren't that interested in it. So you picked. So that's your pick.
Exactly.
I agree with you. Okay.
Yes,
but I do appreciate that 10 Things, because I love Heath Ledger. I think he's a great actor.
Yes,
I love him so much.
God rest his soul.
Okay, so next on the list is Honey. It's Honey or Save the Last Dance.
Oh no, this one's a little hard. I'm gonna go with Honey just for the sake of the culture. Save the Last Dance is a classic, absolutely. But after seeing all of the things on socials about like, you know how they have those like they break down the dances of where it's like this is what they were really
garbage. It was trash. But like she couldn't dance, but then Honey she couldn't dance.
But like just watching all of the like little breakdowns of like how now and like them doing the dances, I'm like, dang, we thought they were really doing something. We did not know. No, but I think I'm gonna go with Honey just because she was like, she was helping kids, like she was trying to put, you know what I mean? There was drama. Missy Elliott was in it, and it gave all the things. Save the Last Dance is cool. It's definitely a classic, but I personally am gonna go with Honey.
Okay,
what would you choose? Save the Last Dance is a classic, but just for the culture and just for like the you know, for what it
Honey,
is.
I feel like they both kind of culturally appropriate.
A little bit. I mean, Jessica Alba, isn't she something?
She's not. She's like a spicy situation.
Oh, she's spicy. I thought she was like Latina or.
It's not giving that. It's
no,
like you know, with some whites that like they can give a little bit of spice, but they're still kind of white.
Oh, they're white. They're still white. Oh, I didn't know. Alba, you know, maybe the last name throws me off. It gives a little spicy.
I remember I saw she did like a DNA test ancestry thing, and she was kind of shocked. She was like, "Whoa," because it was like a bunch of white, and she was like, "What?" Like I thought I was. She even thought that she was kind of
more spicy.
But it was like a bunch of like European stuff.
Oh wow. Well, I'm still gonna stand behind my answer, just for the sake of like that last scene with the kids and like them doing all the things.
And Mekhi Phifer was in it with his fine ass.
Yes, exactly.
He was fine back in the day.
I mean, he's still doing his thing. You know, listen.
You know what's so funny? When I think of Say the Last Dance, I think of a couple things. I think of Bianca Lawson, because she was also somebody that looks good still to this day and was in all the stuff.
She is bomb.
And she was the one that was like, what'd she say? She did not like her at all.
She was like the antagonist of the movie, but she had some valid points.
She did because they brought him back. She definitely did have some valid points. Because this is like, honestly, now today, if you really want to like write a paper on it or like really like dissect it educationally, you could say that this is problematic.
I mean, and that's why I was like, let me lean the other way. But I mean, again, it is a classic movie. If you just look at it for face value, it's like, okay, cool, you know, but. Yeah, slightly. I'm just like
the next thing I think about though when I see this. Remember on was it Scary Movie 2 when the Wayans brothers did it? And remember that scene where like his sister had like she was like a single mom and the father wasn't around, but in the movie they made fun of it, and they remember when Sean came in and was like he came in and picked his son up. And then gave her back.
They did a parody.
And I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna pick him back up again tomorrow or something like that. I'm like, oh my god.
They did a parody of this. Yeah.
So Honey is the choice?
Honey is the choice.
I agree with you.
I'm gonna go with Honey.
I'm gonna do Honey too.
At least she was a little spicy.
Yeah. I'm gonna do Honey too. Okay, next. So this one is, so Miss Congeniality or Legally Blonde?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I love both of these movies. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Me too.
I do love both of these movies. Ooh. It's like 1A and 1B. You know what I mean? Like it's like 1A and 1B because I resonate with Miss Congeniality.
Why?
Like, just because like she's just not like a super girly, prissy girl. Like she's more of like
where she can give when she needs, when it's time to give.
When it's time to give, she can pull it together. But like underneath of all that, can we cuss?
Yes.
Oh, okay. She's a bad bitch. Like she is a bad. Like she can whoop somebody's ass, but like you know she can turn into, and that's me. Like. Okay, it can get serious, but I love Legally Blonde. It's just you know, it's so classic. So I'm gonna go with Miss Congeniality for this one.
I picked these two because it's similar because they're both about like overcoming like the odds. Like people don't expect you to do this thing.
Yeah.
They didn't think that she was like girly enough to like be a pageant.
Right.
They think that she was smart enough to be a law student.
Right.
And be a lawyer.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked them. For me, I love both of them too.
Yeah.
I'm going Legally Blonde.
Yeah. I mean, listen, that is a solid, it's a very hard choice. I just resonate with like the being more of like a and then turning into a
because versus, you can do both.
Exactly. Versus being a more like, you know, and then having to like prove yourself like intelligently, you know? Yeah. So, but both, it's literally like it's not even 1A and 1B. It's like 1A and then 1.1A because they're so good. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're so good. Both such good movies. Yes. Classics for sure.
This one is The Devil. So The Devil Wears Prada or The Princess Diaries. And the reason I picked this is because Anne Hathaway is one of my favorite actresses.
Our unproblematic white queen.
Yes.
We love
and then
her.
Also, these were both movies, of course, you know, transformative movies.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
She transformed.
Yeah.
So before you start though, actually go ahead, pick one. I'm gonna tell you why they're both important to me.
Okay. So I personally have to go with The Devil Wears Prada just because it was such a pivotal movie and like I always knew I loved fashion. I always knew that I loved like the industry and I really wanted to get into the industry, but like after seeing this movie, I was like, I'm gonna go to New York and be it. I'm about to be it. Like if someone who is like not into fashion at all and like even to this day I'm not the type of person that like knows all the designers and like knows all the brand names and you know can tell you, oh, it's this designer and this person and this is last season. Like I'm not that kind of person, but I can tell when something looks good and I know how to do my job well. And like I just feel like Andy, she was like, listen, you give me a task and I'm gonna do it, and she did it. you know, and then she also became a bad bitch in the process.
She kind of broke down though. She had a rough.
She did. She had a moment. But like that's life, right? And I feel like that's such a good like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's such a good example, I guess you could say, of real life. Like real life is not going to be like, okay, cool, you come in, you get this job, and you just excel. Like you have to go through some shit, and like that's, you know, yeah.
I really love this movie because of what you just said, but then also I love fashion too, but I like the because I'm a graphic designer.
Oh, okay.
So I love like that world of like art and things like that.
Of course.
And I just love being in the midst of it. It's a scene where like Andy, she was like, it's just a belt or just a shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
And
the turquoise.
And what's her face?
Meryl Streep.
What was her name?
She tore her. Miranda Priestley.
Yes.
Yeah, she tore her to shreds.
So she explained to her like the importance of like, yeah, it's a sweater, but like this is why it's important.
Yeah.
And these are the steps of this is why fashion is important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people think that graphic design isn't a big deal or being able to be an artist isn't a big deal. It is. It's visual communication.
That scene is iconic. There was this guy on TikTok. He like recreated the scene.
Which one?
Where she's like literally like ripping her to shreds and is like, you know, from a pile of stuff, like that last line. But yeah, and it's just so iconic because it's like, dang, like, and that's I think an ode to people looking at creatives too, because people who look at creatives of all, like from any angle you look at it, like growing up, my mother and grandmother, oh, those rappers and they don't know what they're talking about, they don't know what they're doing, like they're just whatever. And like now people look at like content creators and they look at, you know, people who just do what they do creatively, like, and don't necessarily understand what's going on. They kind of just write it off. And it's like, no, do you know the process?
Right.
Like, do you know the process between these two belts? Like, do you know the process of like doing this versus that? You know what I mean? So it's
and they don't know. See, they like to go to Macy's and JCPenney's, but they don't understand that Macy's and JCPenney's need people like Miranda Priestley.
Hello. We need people at the top.
It all gets funneled down to Macy's and JCPenney's.
Exactly.
And I love me some Macy's and JCPenney's.
Girl, me too.
I grew up on JCPenney's.
Hello.
Princess Diaries was just peak Disney. I just loved it. Like Mandy Moore was in it.
Yes.
That guy that played, what's his face? He played in Brink. What's his name? I don't know his name.
Yes.
The guy.
Yes, I see his face too. But yes, I know what you're talking about.
It was just yeah.
Just very peak Disney moment.
Yes.
And just like such a classic movie. Like honestly, Princess Diaries 2 will never do what Princess Diaries did, but I love that they had a second one. I love that we got to see the continuation.
Raven was in the second one.
Yes. I love that we got to see a continuation of that. Like, yeah. So
they were at Fashion Week actually. Her and Meryl Streep recently. You saw them. They still look good.
They look good. That's what happens when you're unproblematic and mind your business.
So the next one is the next one is A Walk to Remember or The Notebook.
I literally just watched A Walk to Remember like a month ago, and I love this movie, but I am gonna have to go with The Notebook because if you're a bird, I'm a bird. Like what? If you're a freaking bird, I'm a freaking bird. So we just both out here being fucking birds, and right, just being birds together, and like The Notebook is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. And although Walk to Remember is also very beautiful, I just think like the impact of like growing old with someone and like really living out your vows of like staying through thick and thin, being there through whatever, and having such like a creative and like
being
beautiful
meant to
story.
be.
Yeah, beautiful story. Like it wasn't just like, oh, we met and we had a moment and then like we got together and then there was the climax happened and then the whatever. It was like, no, this is like complicated and this is like, you know, just complex. She moved away. They were away for a period of time.
The parents didn't approve. He was the poor one. It was like a Romeo and Juliet. Every movie has like the Romeo and Juliet like formula to it.
Exactly. And then they grew old together, and he stuck by her side until they both just called it a day. And I think that's beautiful.
Did you ever want to have? Did you ever like imagine yourself like growing up? Did you ever like have like that person that you were like, I want to have like the Notebook type of romance?
I like a person.
Yeah,
I mean, I always like, obviously wanted a love like that, like a long-term love. But I don't know, like I feel like I never had that moment. I never had that like, oh, I want to be with you forever and just like grow old together. Like, you know, when we're teenagers and like, you know, falling in love or whatever, it's like you're like, yes, I want to be with you forever, but like I wouldn't say I had like a love as strong as this until now. So mine came later in life, but yeah.
Listen, I'm still waiting for mine. You found yours.
Okay, and it's coming. Listen. What do you think?
I think that Shane West is just so fine.
I know.
And I love Mandy Moore's voice.
Me too.
I love how, first of all, I love how she pivoted into acting because, you know.
Yeah, she was a singer.
Yeah, but like, you know, I guess they came out all around the time Britney came out, and you know, Britney's Britney. Girl.
I know. She's iconic, truly. Even though now I don't know what's going on. I don't really know what's going on right now.
It wasn't but those were real knives. It's just, like those were real knives.
Yeah,
like those were real knives.
I mean, you know, we're just gonna let sis be what she needs to be right now. She's coming out of a conservatorship. So
so she's trying to like
What do you think though?
I think Ryan. First of all, Ryan Gosling. We don't understand how iconic he is because he came up with Britney and them and Justin and all of them.
And he's in a lot. He's like in the background of, or like you know, of a lot of low key movies that you're like, what? Ryan Gosling wasn't that?
And I love Rachel McAdams. You know what? I'll do Notebook as well because the Notebook crawled or walked or whatever so they could run. It's the same. It's by the same person.
Literally, but it's also like A Walk to Remember is people. I think also the Notebook is so iconic that people like don't. They're like A Walk to Remember. Like what is that? But like A Walk to Remember is such a good movie. And if you haven't seen it, if those of y'all who if you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it.
Yeah, it's out right now on all types of platforms. Yeah,
I think I just watched it on Hulu. Yeah, I think I just watched it on Hulu.
I'll do Notebook. I'll do Notebook. Yeah. And I actually saw the audition tape for Rachel too. She did a good job.
Yeah, she's a good actress too.
And they didn't like each other on set for a little bit, and then they ended up getting cool and they started dating or whatever.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So here's the next one.
Oh my gosh.
Clueless or Mean Girls?
It's so crazy because I feel like Clueless is literally the Mean Girls of the 90s.
Yeah.
Like it's literally the Mean Girls of the 90s.
Did I stomp you?
Ooh, I mean, I was already stumped back at Miss Congeniality and Legally Blonde. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's October 3rd. Like, I'm going to have to go Mean Girls. I am. Now, listen.
Like, rolling with the homies.
Okay, that is it's so classic. And I'm such a 90s girl, but like, Mean Girls is for, Clueless is like for,
what should say? I don't. You're not fat because she said. I don't hate you because you're fat. You're fat because I hate you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm gonna have to go Mean Girls. I love it's another like 1A, 1B situation because like literally, Clueless is such a good movie, and like that whole her whole complex of the outfits,
the outfits.
Yeah, the fashion.
Got the fashion.
Clueless, yeah, fashion wise, Clueless takes the cake. Okay. But also, fashion of the 90s is iconic.
Yes.
Like the 2000s could never.
So that's your favorite decade of fashion? 90s,
probably
better than 80s and 70s to you?
I would say late 80s. 90s is like my vibe. Like
what was late 80s? They did like more like what, like bell bottoms? No, that was 70s.
No, that was 70s. I'm in a 70s kind of vibe today. But yeah, I would have to say like 80s was like, the sweatsuits and the big jewelry and the short haircuts and that like very TLC vibes. Love those. And then the 90s was, I don't know, the 90s I feel
baggy
the baggy, the very like classic kind of looks, like the small shirt and the like skirts, all the things. But yeah, I'm for movie wise. Yeah, I'm gonna go Mean Girls. But in terms of overall,
you're a
like,
virgin
fashion,
who can't drive.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Mean Girls for this one because it's October 3rd. Yeah. And we're about to hit October. We're about to hit October. How can we not? Oh, what do you think? Do you think Clueless or Mean Girls?
Damn, I fucked myself up.
I know. It's like, dang.
Mean Girls is iconic content wise because like comedians were part. Like Tina Fey is a brilliant.
Oh my
like,
gosh,
all the actors in there, the comedians in there. Rachel McAdams is in there too. She's my favorite. I love her. Amanda Seyfried. She's a good one too. This is peak Lindsay Lohan.
90% chance it's already
raining.
Or 60% chance.
Yeah, something like that. And then Gretchen Wiener. And then but. This is peak Lindsay Lohan, like this is really her. This is going to go down. Like, this is a part of her catalog. She's iconic for this movie alone.
Exactly, but I also love Lindsay Lohan's catalog, like down Freaky Friday, but also back to the Disney movie. What's it called?
Get a Clue.
Get a Clue. Exactly.
Oh, yes. Parent Trap.
Parent. Exactly. Like Lindsay Lohan had a moment, and then
they made a show out of Clueless though. She is literally the Polaroid of perfection.
I haven't seen the show. Is it good? I haven't seen the show. I know.
Look it up when we leave.
Okay, I will. Okay.
They made a TV show.
Okay,
but they didn't have her. They had everybody else in it, except for
but not her.
Except for Alicia, whatever. My bad. Not Alicia. I shouldn't say whatever. I like her too. She's iconic because she's going to be in this one. Another movie of hers is going to be in this slide. By the way.
Okay.
I'll do Mean Girls. Ooh, wait.
I know it's hard. I would go Clueless.
Clueless is nice to look at.
Yes, Clueless is nice to look at. But the plot of the movie, sometimes I'll be like, dang, okay, you lost me for a second there. Like, some of it loses me.
And then she got with her stepbrother. Or I don't know who that means.
Yeah,
whatever.
the guy who, I don't know. It lost me for a second
Mean Girls.
there.
Mean Girls. Yeah. I'm doing Mean Girls. Go ahead, J-Rob. Do the next one. Yeah, what you got? What you pick, J-Rob? I know you saw him.
Mean Girls.
Okay.
Mean Girls is more like, I feel like for our, it like really vibes with our generation.
And here's the next one. Did you see these movies?
No.
Ooh, you
didn't? I have not seen either of these movies.
Oh my God.
I have not seen either of these movies.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, well, give me a synopsis of both ones.
Okay. So Fear, right? They're both 90s movies.
Okay.
So Fear stars Mark Wahlberg and Reese Witherspoon.
Okay.
And so basically he's like a psycho boyfriend, and then like you know how that goes, right? Psycho boyfriend, whatever, right? Cool. Yeah. And then with Crush, this is one of Alicia Silverstone's first like movies or whatever, starring roles. And so she had a crush on like her grown neighbor, or I think it was a man that like her parents hired to live in there to do whatever, I don't know. But she had a crush on him. He was grown and she was like 14, 15, 16, whatever. And so then she became like crazy and tried to kill people and stuff, whatever, because he got a new girlfriend and stuff like that. You know how that goes. So they're both like psycho, like girlfriend boyfriends, and they try to like kill people because of their whatever.
Okay.
You never saw Fear, at least?
No. Okay, so here's the thing. Whenever Fear would pop up, I think I wouldn't.
You remember the cover art?
Yeah, I know the cover art, but I have never watched it because I think psycho girlfriend boyfriend is a little bit.
It's not that, but it's 90s, and like I feel like you would appreciate it because it's 90s.
Okay.
And Alyssa Milano, she's in it.
Okay.
I think you should watch. It's not like it's like a suspenseful thing. It's not like you don't like scary movies.
I'm not a huge like jumpy scary movie kind of person. I do like suspense. Like I really
it's more so suspense.
I really do like suspense. But
okay,
I'll watch it. I'll give it a try.
90s,
I feel
it's very vibey. It's very that.
I feel like I would go with, if I were just choosing off of the synopsis that you gave me, I would go with Fear because, I would be interested to see how Reese Witherspoon handles the psycho boyfriend and how she
Mark
plays.
And Mark Wahlberg he's fine.
Yeah, he is. And I feel like he would play a good psycho boyfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, please.
Yeah, okay.
Watch both of them at some point.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. I'm going to go home and watch Fear, like today.
I pick Fear, though.
Okay.
But The Crush, with Alicia in it, this one her first. I think you should watch it, too.
Okay. I will. I love 90s movies, so I definitely will.
Wow. I thought you would know this one. It's all good. It's all
no,
good.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's fine.
Because I love recommendations, too. So whenever I get an opportunity to have a recommendation, I live for it.
You can go to the next one, J-Rob. Okay, damn. So you don't like this one, do you? This is not your thing, huh? So Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer?
I'm going to go with I Know What You Did Last Summer, only because like the cast is so iconic.
What?
Okay, the Scream cast is iconic too. Okay, well, but I'm just not. No. I just feel like the Scream movies are not my vibe.
Okay.
They're not my vibe. I'm definitely more of like a... I don't know. I could never get into the Scream movies. Like, I like them, and I've watched up to Scream 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like one of those movies it's like one of those things that I'll put on in the background. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or like if it's on, it's like, okay, cool, if there's nothing else on, but like I Know What You Did Last Summer, like that's like that had like, you know, sometimes that had me on my edge of my seat a little bit. When I first watched it, I was like, okay. You know, like, so yeah. What about you? You going in with Scream?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
This is so much more. I feel like Scream as a I love both of them. They're both classics.
Yeah,
but I think Scream as a franchise, it like beats. Because they try to do like the sequels too, but their sequels just fell flat. It was it's just not. So Scream for me, but the cast that I know did last summer was definitely iconic. They had Brandy in the second one. I loved Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, love her.
Yeah, her and Freddie Prinze Jr. They were in Scooby Doo together, and I love that. And then Ryan, what's his face? He married Reese Witherspoon, but then he also was in Cruel Intentions.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was in Cruel Intentions. But yeah, okay. Scream is definitely a vibe. It's just not my vibe.
No. It's all you. Yeah.
But yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer. That's what I'm gonna go with for this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it there.
Okay, cool. That's all good.
Okay, what's next?
That's it. Actually, no, I have one more in my head though.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
I'll put it on the screen when I edit it.
Okay.
Do you watch? Okay, so I'm wondering.
Okay.
So, Charmed or Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Charmed for me.
Really?
I'm a witch. I mean, I love vampires, but like I love when vampires are the protagonist, not the antagonist. So I don't want them to be slayed. I want them to be like Vampire Diaries is my shit. The
I
originals.
never got into that.
Oh my gosh, girl, you have to.
I was like, this is it's too glamorous for me.
I feel you. But like, I love the Vampire Diaries. I regretfully am a Twilight fan. I will still watch Twilight to this day.
Yeah, I like Twilight.
Yeah. So I love when vampires are the protagonist.
They have some good vampires on that show, though.
Yeah, they do. And then, so yeah, I feel like Charmed because I love like, you know, the sisters, the witchiness. My mom was a huge Charmed fan, so we watched it.
My mom were too. Yeah, she
pretty often. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
Both. I can't
both.
pick.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah, I grew up on both of them because like my mom got me into Scream like because I was born in 93. Okay. Scream came out in 96.
Okay.
I ain't had no business. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like, but like I grew up on those things.
Right.
So, like,
watching it. Yeah. Okay. Got you. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, this was fun. Do you like?
Yeah. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun.
It?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love a game to like be an icebreaker and like do the things. Okay.
And the cover art was really cute too. I love the Clueless cover art against the Mean Girls cover. I like the pinks and stuff.
Truly,
Miss
I like Congeniality and Legally Blonde also did what needed to be done. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Anywho, okay. So let's get into some things real quick. So I want to know how did you get into content creating? Is that what you want to call it?
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. So I actually started out. I've always loved writing. I've always loved taking photos. And when I was in my kind of like end of sophomore, junior year of college, I really needed an outlet. I was working like crazy. I was working 2 to 3 jobs.
Yeah, 2 to 3 jobs because I definitely lived off campus.
Hello.
Where'd you live at?
I lived off campus too, like my sophomore year, and yeah, I mean, you know, we had to. I forget the name of it, to be honest with you. It was
I lived in Fairways at one point. I lived
a little
off of Loch Raven Boulevard at one point.
I lived off of Loch Raven as well, but I forget the name of like exact Towson Crossing.
Oh.
Towson Crossing, that's it. So I lived there for my first 2 years, or I guess sophomore and junior year. And then senior year, I moved up towards, like Loch Raven Boulevard, and I was in a townhouse and lived in that area. So, you know, we had to pay rent, girl. We had to do all the things. So I was working 2 to 3 jobs, and I just needed an outlet. Like, I needed something to be able to, like, scratch that creative itch because it was schoolwork, and then it was work. And so I wanted something that I could, like, that was for me. So I started a blog. I really wanted something. Yeah. It was like a website. I just wanted like a place where I could post photos and like write. You know what I mean? And like put all of my like anytime I was traveling or anytime I was like
remember your
doing
website.
something.
You had it on Instagram at one point.
Yeah. So I wanted a place where I could have all my photos and just like a online diary almost, you know. So I started the blog, and from there, Instagram started to take off kind of simultaneously. And then also simultaneously, I went natural. So I started talking about I had my blog that was kind of like for all my travels and like where I wanted to unload all the mental health things. And then Instagram was just like hair and like beauty and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of just meshed the two after a while because like it was becoming a lot to do both. So yeah, I kind of started out with that. That was June of 2016 that I like launched the website and like was doing all the blogging things. And then I guess like 2017 is when, cause I graduated December of 2017. And I remember the day, I think on Christmas I hit 10K. Yeah. So
followers on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hit 10K followers on Instagram, and like, back then, from there, once you hit 10K, it's like, okay, you could get brand deals, you could like get work, you could start getting paid and things like that. So, it just kind of took off from there. I graduated. I didn't have any prospects job wise. I was just continuing to work the odd jobs that I was working. I was a nanny. I worked as a server, bartender. I did like the content thing part time and was getting brand deals here and there, but small.
So wait, let's pull over real quick.
Okay.
So I want to, first off, so the learning process, sure. Like, when it comes to like, just like producing your content and just like doing makeup and doing your hair, like, did you learn from other content creators how to do makeup and hair?
So, I learned a little bit from them, but I also just kind of like went off of what I thought was my own personal knowledge, watching like YouTube and things like that. So, and also just kind of little bits of what my mom taught me, but I wasn't really allowed to wear makeup growing up like that. So I didn't know a whole lot, but, I also was like a super like tomboy. Like growing up. Like I wore makeup here and there and obviously like for prom and things like that. I did stuff, but I was not a makeup girly for the longest. I honestly wasn't even like a skincare girly for the longest. Like even when I started doing things, I was like, wash your face, put on some moisturizer and call it a day. You know what I mean? But obviously as time has gone on, things have evolved just like with all of our routines. There's something for everything now. Back then it was a little just, everything was like more simple, or it felt that way anyway. So yeah, I guess with my hair, I was really just like going off of tips that I saw from other creators and sharing them on my platform, because I was like, who knows if this person follows this person, you know what I mean? And whenever I would like get my hair done, I would ask, questions here or there and kind of get information that way. But information is always, it's so like subjective also, because it's like what works for one person doesn't always work for another person. So yeah, I guess with those, I always would draw inspiration from other people, but I also like tried. It was a lot of trial and error. What worked for me, what didn't work for me, whether that be makeup, hair, whatever the case may be. So yeah.
So what do you think where, like, how long did it take for you to start getting brand deals? And then also, like, how did you filter which brand deals to accept? And like, what advice would you give someone when it comes to like connecting with brands? Yeah,
that's a really great question. So I think for me, I first started getting brand deals. I worked with the first brand deal I ever did was in exchange, of course. Like it was just, we will send you this in exchange for this. And I did, in exchange for a post. And it was some hair products. I believe it was Eden Body Works, if I'm not mistaken. And I worked pretty closely with them for a while. So they actually gave me my first paid gig, and I worked at a convention with them. So, it was just, for the longest, I was like, oh, wow, like I can get free products. Like, and you're in college, like you're young, broke. I'm like, dang, like this stuff is expensive.
So your first deal was in college?
Yeah. First deal was in college.
It was Eden.
Yeah. Eden Body Works.
So what, at the convention, they did demonstrations on you or something?
No, it was more just like I was at the table talking with people, giving them products, like telling them my own personal experience with the products, things like that. And so that was kind of like the convention. And it was, I forget the name of the convention, but it still happens to this day. But yeah, so it was a really great experience. I really enjoyed myself. They paid me $250, and I thought I was the richest woman in the world. Like I was, living my best life. But from there, I guess when I first started getting brand deals, obviously you have to kind of weed out what's real and what's fake. You have to kind of like weed out, is this,
worth it?
Yeah, worth it. Is it worth my time?
Is it aligned with your brand?
Exactly. And I was getting a lot of hair brands to begin with,
because they love your, because I feel like you, what's that, like a 4A?
Yeah, it's like 3C, 4A.
Okay.
But and a little bit of 4B back here.
Yeah, I think your hair, like all hair textures are beautiful. I have 4C hair. I love my hair. So all hair textures are beautiful. Absolutely. But I think with your hair texture, I feel like it's very it's in between. Like it's very like, you know, it kind of very ambiguous, if you understand what I'm saying. It's very commercial, you know, you can go either way, you know, things like that. So I definitely think that that definitely works with brands and things like that.
For sure. And I think it's not as loose as like a, you know, 3A, you know, 2C type vibe, but you know, I feel like also people misconstrued the like sometimes my hair texture because I do twist outs. So like my hair is trained into these curls like with my twist out. So like naturally, obviously my hair does curl up, but it is very much like it takes really well to styling. So it can give, you know, it just depends on the day. Yeah. It just depends on the day.
I've definitely seen you with kinkier hair. I think all your hair stages are really beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, so discernment from that point on, once I hit 10K, the brand deal started to take off for real.
Hello.
Yeah. And at that point, you know, to be, you know, transparent, and it's like, wow, I'm getting brand deals. So, you know, you're kind of just accepting everything, you know, and you're like, okay, yeah, like, let me do this skincare brand. Yeah, like, let me do this hair care brand. You know what I mean? And when I look back now, I'm like, dang, I should have had a little bit more discernment. But I also was like, I'm trying to pay my bills. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Hello. Okay.
So, yeah, the discernment came a little bit later on. Yes, exactly. So, and a lot of the brand deals that I was getting was coming from me tagging the brands and using their hashtags. So it was stuff that I was using, but there was probably a couple like things that I received that it was like, okay, we're sending you this product, create some content, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I had never tried the product before. You know what I mean? And I
mean, honestly, that's usually how it goes.
I mean, some people really do, like nowadays, because I can be more discerning, I am like I'm very like, I need the product at least 2 to 3 weeks before the post goes live. Yeah, to try it out, to make sure, because people are like relying on, you know, us to essentially be, you know, honest, but also kind of be the guinea pigs to like see if it actually works. You know what I mean? And it's like some influencers really do just like, you know, here, yes, buy this product. But then there's people like Jackie Aina who like actually sit there and tell you like, yes, I like this product because of this, but it also does this, and like, you know, things like that. And so like discernment definitely came later on, but I guess in the beginning, you know, it definitely was like, okay, if you're only going to pay me $50 for something that somebody else may pay me like $500 for, I probably am going to say no. You know what I mean? Like, and that was kind of more so the determining factor than the actual product was. And that's just, you know, that's real. Like, that's bottom line. Like, I have never come from money. I've always like had to quote unquote get it out the mud and like, you know, do things for myself. So I was in a place where like I was really trying to figure out this, and there was also no rules. There was no like, you should do it this way, or like you should operate this way. Like when I first started with content creating and influencing, like there was nothing, like
there's no like guideline. Like I feel like that's why I feel like people should have more respect for content creators, because I feel like you guys, like, number one, you guys are self-starters. You like created your own career, and that trickles down into you having a lifestyle, you being able to live off of what you started, what you created for yourself. Exactly. So I feel like everyone should have some sort of respect for content creators, because, you know, everyone can't do what you do.
And that's the thing, you know, it's like a lot of people say, you know, oh yeah, you all just post pictures and they just don't have a very good understanding of exactly what goes into this job.
A lot of people don't have range.
Yeah, well that also.
That's what JC said when they, cause you know how she's doing her fashion thing now. Like, I guess she goes with Uzi now, so it's like she does like the, you know, the eclectic looks and stuff like that.
Of course.
She's like, you girls don't have range.
Well.
So some people don't have range.
You said it.
So they're not going to understand what you do, what we do, what we can, our eye and things like that. So people don't have range. So then don't, you know, just whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Just
whatever. It is what it is. Do you.
Exactly. And that's how I feel. I'm just like, literally do you. So back then it was very, very much very different from how it is now. And so kind of the switch for me was I went full time back in 2019.
That's a blessing that you can go full time doing what you love.
Yeah. I mean, I feel so blessed and I feel so grateful. And I think that because I went through so much, like in my early teenage years and through college, having to work 2, 3, 4 jobs like at a time, plus have a full class schedule and all the things. Like, you know, God was like, okay, you know, like we're gonna give her a break. So I feel very blessed. I feel very grateful. I do not take any of this for granted. I understand that this is not a normal life. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, so 2019 is when I went full time and I actually got fired from my job. So that was fun. And my cousin was like, let's move to New York. She was a nurse, or is a nurse. So she was like, let's move to New York. We'll figure it out. And I had like $5,000 to my name at that time. And I was like, all right, I had saved up that $5,000 from working in the service industry and being an influencer. And I was like, okay, we're moving to New York. And
that's a pocket snatcher right there. New York is a pocket snatcher.
Exactly. It is. But we got super lucky with the apartment that we found. It was like $19.50 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, like right
in New York?
In New York, yeah. And my cousin, she was just amazing in terms of helping. She was like, literally, because she had a nursing job, so she was like doing well. She was like, just, pay me when you can. And like, for the most part, like when I came up there, I was working with Eden Body Works running their Twitter. And then I was also working with someone else.
So you did social media marketing as
well.
Don't brush past that.
I did it for a short period of time just because I needed someone for the in-between. So I was like happy to handle that. So, did that for a while, and I had worked with them obviously previously. And then I was also running social media for another small company, like just Black owned company that is from local. So I was doing that, and and that got me through being able to make the move to New York. And from there it really
How long were you in New York?
Took off. I moved to New York at the worst possible time, September of 2019, and then I stayed out there all throughout 2020, and I moved back here to the DMV area in December of 2020.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I was driving back and forth so often, and like in New York I had like friends who I was cool with and like everything, but it wasn't like I could just pull up to their house and be like, let's hang out, you know what I mean? I just felt very isolated, so I was like, I'm gonna take my talents back to the DMV and see what that does for me.
You got some good content from being in New York though, right?
Oh my gosh, I honestly, now that I'm in a place where like I can go out there on the train or the bus or whatever, take a flight out there if I need to really quickly for events or anything like that, it's great because I can get so much content. But oh my gosh, while I was living there, I loved it. I will say now that I am a little bit older, like the thought of living in a confined space, like New York, and I feel like I would need to be a rich girly to like move back to New York. But for those young to mid 20s running around doing all the things, going to 3, 4, 5 events, every day.
You
and
loved Fashion Week, didn't you?
I
you were living
loved
there.
it.
We'll
yes.
get to that in a second.
Exactly. It was great. So I adored it. It was amazing. And from 2019 until now, I've stayed full time and I've been able to make a really great living. But the discernment has definitely stepped in, especially as the influencer industry has taken off the way that it has. So yeah.
So before we get into Fashion Week and stuff and Beyonce, okay, so on your Instagram bio, you describe you have lifestyle, beauty, and you also say mid-size fashion.
Yeah.
So explain to everyone, what do you mean by mid-size fashion?
Yeah, so I guess like the label of like mid-size fashion right now is like a size range. So it goes from like size 8 up into I think size 14, I believe, is mid-size. I think 16 is considered plus size. I'm not 100%
yes, 14
sure.
14 is 14. I believe, because I've always been plus size.
Okay.
And I used to wear 14s, and that was plus size.
Okay. So I guess then 8
maybe
to 12.
Maybe it's to 12. Yeah, maybe it's 14-ish, whatever. Yeah.
So I range in all of those because sometimes I can wear a size 8 and sometimes I can wear a size 12. Just kind of depends on what store I'm going into. Because Zara, I'd be having to wear 12, 14, extra large, medium. Like sometimes I can wear medium. Their sizes be all over the place, child. But yeah. So I think I have just really found such a great pleasure in dressing for my body type, you know, and like I'm a shorter girly, I'm 5'3", so finding things for smaller, shorter girlies who are on the thicker side, and just like, because you know, like now, especially nowadays, I don't know what happened, but I feel like we've regressed in terms of inclusivity in fashion.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like, especially with Fashion Week, you know, but just in general, like I feel like now they're pushing more and more that kind of 90s thin, tall,
really
girly, at least on
sidebar
my side of things.
You notice that. We can bleep it out if you want me to bleep it out.
No, go ahead.
Because I don't know if you have a situation with them.
No.
You notice that Victoria's Secret is trying to do like the Savage Fenty thing now, where they're trying to include everything.
Girl.
But remember at one point they were like pushing back on like, no, we don't want to have this type of people modeling our stuff. But then Savage Fenty came out with everyone, and then now they want to bring out everyone on their stuff too, and then they want to like market their stuff after Savage Fenty's fashion show.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
I think it's very interesting. And you know, it's funny because at the end of the day, Black people are the blueprint.
Even the marketing promo, like they had the same. It was like a side by side. So I'm like, come on, like it was like
with the different boxes and
and like the little curved little thing. Yeah, that was.
Victoria's Secret has never been inclusive.
Never,
and that is a statement that you can put in here, like you don't have to edit it out, but I
didn't know if you had like a situation with them.
No, I do not. I do not, but I mean they've had a multitude of things pop up like problematically and just, you know, things here and there. So I mean, yeah, I guess the girlies are quote unquote trying, but I mean there was a huge conversation in the last 2 years I would say within Fashion Week, but yeah, the last like year, this past year, it's like, yes, there will be inclusivity in, I would say race. Like they definitely have included, there's obviously always been white women, Asian women included, but like, of course you're seeing more Black women, but the diversity in sizing is not there.
Okay. So yeah, tell me about your time at fashion, because you did attend New York's Fashion Week.
Yeah, I did. I thought,
and also is Fashion Week, how long is Fashion Week? Is it like 2 weeks or a month or what is it? Because I feel like Fashion Week has been on for 3 weeks now. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, so it is Fashion Month. They have New York Fashion Week kicks it off, and then it goes London, Milan, and then Paris. Yeah, so we're in Paris Fashion Week right now, or it's just wrapping up.
Okay, so it's each city has a week.
Right, exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So Fashion Week normally, New York Fashion Week typically starts off the Wednesday, like the second, I think first or second Wednesday in September. So this year it was the 6th is when everything, the 5th and the 6th is when everything kind of started.
And that's for like
off.
the fall, winter, right? Or for spring, summer?
Well, technically, okay, so people normally, the way that it works is like with Fashion Week, it kind of depends. Like sometimes they will show their fall winter collections and sometimes they will show the spring summer collections. And I'm not one of the girlies who can tell you who's going to do what or when, where, but it just kind of depends. Like in the Fashion Week in February, they typically show their fall things. Okay. And then in the Fashion Week in September, they typically show spring things. But it just depends on who the designer is and like, you know, if they have ready to wear stuff, if it's all couture, you know what I mean? It kind of just depends on that. But yeah, I just feel like from what I saw, like the diversity in sizing is my issue. Like now we have diversity when it comes to race. I think that the next step, and the step that I thought, and it also depends on the brand, obviously, you know, a lot of couture brands do focus on the more slender, like
it's easier for them to
to show the pieces on kind of a very I don't want to knock anybody who has like a very slender body, but just like almost like a blank canvas, like, you know, sorry if that offends anybody, but you know, it's, yeah, you can show it on kind of like a mannequin type canvas, but a lot of those pieces are made to wear for whoever is wearing them. So
whoever's the model.
Exactly. But also when people buy them off the runway or when people do order them, they are made to wear for whoever they're made for those specific things. But again, it also depends on the designer. But yeah, I just didn't see like some of the swimwear stuff. They had a lot of influencers modeling. Kayla Nicole, Kadeen, they were both in a swimwear runway show, but I just across the board with like, unless it was like a very inclusive or a queer designer, I just didn't see a lot of shorter girlies, mid-sized girlies. But I also saw a lot of people, there was a lot of conversations around how Fashion Week is not for us. Yeah, and people had all of their opinions, and I, you know, the opinions will always be what they are. Everyone has one, but I thought some of them were kind of harsh, you know, like it's like people feel like influence have ruined Fashion Week. It's not exclusive anymore. People feel like Fashion Week isn't for people who, you know, have more curvier bodies because it's like to show the artwork and the pieces. And I'm just like, how can you not show the artwork and the pieces on bodies that are different? You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I feel like mid-size for me, the way that I look at it is I just try to style clothes and wear clothes that are within my size range, obviously for my body type, which is a short, I'm pear-shaped, so a short pear-shaped person.
Pear-shaped.
Pear-shaped person. And yeah, like I am really starting to get into just like finding my own personal style. And so in the coming weeks, hopefully, you know, I'll be filming more stuff to kind of help other people who are in my size range, smaller, bigger, whoever, you know, like kind of develop their own personal style and figure out what works for them, and like a good starting place, because I have been very much in the beginner space and I'm starting to move out of it and like really find what works for me. So yeah, mid-size fashion to me is just, you know, it's a size range if we're speaking labels, but I think also it's just finding what works for body type, body shape, you know, height, all the things.
So you don't think so people were saying that Fashion Week wasn't exclusive anymore? Did you attend any of the parties?
I did attend some of the parties.
How'd you feel about the parties?
I feel like the parties were super fun, but that's not like, a lot of the critics were saying that's not Fashion Week. The parties are not Fashion Week. The shows, the actual fashion is what makes Fashion Week. The parties and all the other things, the events and things like that, that's not Fashion Week. They're just, you know, a subsidiary, or they're just like an addition to, you know, the fashion, but they're not the actual meat and potatoes of, which is true. Like, we are there for the fashions. But I think as like members of this industry, that's a part of it. That is a part of Fashion Week. It's like, you know, you're networking, you're meeting new people, like you're creating opportunities for yourself. You're like doing things, like there are opportunities that have been presented to me when I went to Fashion Week years ago. This is pre-pandemic, and this is way before I was at the place that I'm at now in terms of, you know, following, whatever you want to call it. And I got a brand deal because I talked to one of the brand people who was at a show that I was at. You know what I mean? Like, so they were like, yes, we love you. We want to work with you. And like, we've been wanting to reach out to you. And I was like, okay. You know what I mean? So like, that created opportunity. And all the places that I went this year, last year, all the things, there have been opportunities, whether that be just making a new friend, you know what I mean? Or just making an alliance with someone who's in the industry and like can take you places and you can take them places and things like that. So yeah, I mean, I thought the parties were good. I had a lot of fun. I saw
a model that I follow. I like her a lot. I like her a lot. I think she's a good model. But she was complaining about like she feels like Fashion Week isn't like exclusive like that anymore. And,
yeah, no, it's
she was
definitely
saying like the parties weren't exclusive. She was like, and she was complaining about how like people were dressed, like people weren't dressed like fashionably. Things like
so
that.
Yeah, that's definitely something. I feel like the parties that I went to, people were dressed nicely, but I think also after you're running around and doing all the things, like, why are we? I mean, yes, Fashion Week is about the fashion. So like, yes, you should look fashionable, and like some people gave what they gave, and like it was not giving all of the things. But I think also like style and fashion is an interpretation of like who you are and like how you're feeling. And baby, sometimes people are feeling a black t-shirt and some black jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all an interpretation. So like, yes, when you're showing up to these parties, should you be dressed to the nine, giving? Yes, you should. It should give 10 10s across the board. But sometimes you just want to go to these things and maybe be an observer and like see the things happening, all the things. I will say that yes, Fashion Week is less exclusive, but is that an issue?
I think people
is that an issue? Because I
think this from the outside looking in, I think like even being a model, like being like the commercial, like being like the slim model, like they're going to get booked somewhere. Yeah. So they're already like, they already feel that like I'm walking in such and such a show. And then like on top of it, so it's like, you know, I feel like Fashion Week gives them like that like level of like, this is me, I'm up here because this is Fashion Week. But when they see people that don't really you know, coincide with what they think it's like, no, this isn't exclusive, no, I don't want to be seen next to you, like why are you here in my space, like, yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know, but I don't
that's a level of elitism that I personally have never wanted to be associated with. I think that it's beautiful, it's amazing that everything has opened up more and more people are able to experience these kinds of things, and like, you know, like at the end of the day, like the people who are supposed to be at the shows, like the shows that are like, you know what I mean? Like they're there and like, cool. If you want to feel more important because of that, that's your steez. That's not my steez. I feel like it should be like an open door because fashion is like, it's so broad.
Yeah.
There's so many interpretations of what is stylish, what is fashionable, like what is fashion, period. And I feel like the more exclusive that we make it, it's like
corny.
Yeah, I think it's corny. It's very elitist to me. It's like it just doesn't give.
It's like a negative. Is a negative connotation? You think?
Yeah, because is everyone else supposed to just walk around here and like in just whatever, and only this group of people can wear this? Like, no, baby. Especially in this day and age when you're having people who are making thousands and millions and billions of dollars on fucking TikTok. Like, you know what I mean? Like they can wear the thingies too. So I don't know. I just feel like exclusivity to me is cool, fun, and it's like nice to feel important because you're not with the GA crowd. But in the right setting, I feel like in that setting, Fashion Week is so big. It's so huge. Why can't we make room for everybody?
I want to go to Fashion Week one day. I only been to New York maybe like twice, I think. Never during Fashion Week though.
Girl, you should go.
I do want to go, and I feel like I would give, even if I got something from like Fashion Nova. I still listen. Something about me, like I don't have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So like spend on clothes. I got bills and stuff to pay, and I rather spend money on like living. But I can give something when I want to give it something. You know
but
what I'm
also
saying?
like you can get a $3 something from the thrift store. And like give more than the $5,000 black dress that sis is wearing over here. You know what I'm saying? So like it's all interpretive. It's all like what your style is, what you like. Like you don't have to have the most expensive things. Like you don't to look good and be stylish. Like that's something that I think that I also had, like I had that kind of mindset, you know, where it's like, oh, I don't have a lot of money, I can't really give. And someone said the same thing to me. They were like, you can go to the store and put something together and like, you know, and I'm like, you know what? You right.
I was heavy in thrift store like back in college. I was heavy in thrift store.
Girl, yes.
Okay, so who is one of your style inspirations?
I have a couple. Janae Naylor is one of my faves.
Who's that?
Hilo Lux is her former like Instagram name, but Janae Naylor, she's a fellow influencer. Okay. She's also like signed to my agency. She's one of my faves.
Okay, you have an agency.
Yeah, I'm signed with Kensington Gray.
Okay, and they help you secure deals.
Yeah. So that's my management.
That's right.
Black owned, Black woman owned. We love it.
They know you're here.
Yes.
They liked it. They liked the thing was a good idea. Okay.
They always are like, they're always encouraging us to do all of the media things and doing whatever is going to continue to feed us creatively, but also advance our careers. You know. So I'm trying to think who else. I guess like celebrities, I really love how Kayla Nicole dresses. Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love her. She has like such a fun, like cute, sexy kind of style. Love her style. Kaylani, I love her style. It's so like avant-garde and like fun. I guess those
Tiana Taylor.
Love Tiana Taylor. I love that she's so androgynous. Like I love her style. That's why I love Kaylani too, because she's so like androgynous and like such a good vibe. So yeah, off the top of my head, my style is also all over the place. Like one day it could give like preppy, like minimal type vibes.
That's
and the
good.
Next day it could give like
you have range.
sneakers. Yeah, I be trying, girl.
The word is range.
Okay, the word is range. I be trying, girl. I be trying. So yeah. What about you? What are some of yours?
Oh, me?
Yes, you can.
I love Solange.
Ooh, love
Tiana
Solange.
Taylor.
Yes.
Solange, Tiana Taylor, Rihanna.
I love that Rihanna can literally wear a trash bag.
Yeah.
And she can look
I
good.
really like I really like Megan Fox's stylist. Her name is oh damn, what's her name? Her stylist. Megan Fox's stylist. Her name is something. It starts with an M, I think. I can't remember her name. Okay, but I love her.
Okay, yeah, and there's a stylist. She's Lance Gross's wife. She's a stylist, and I love her style. Elaine Welteroth is another who comes to mind. I love her style too, but I can't think of her name. Lance
Gross?
Lance Gross's wife. Yeah.
She's a stylist?
She's a stylist, yeah. She styles like Kelly Rowland, people like that. Like, I think she has also worked with Elaine Welteroth, but Elaine Welteroth is one of my favorites too. So yeah, my style is so all over the place though.
I like Colin Carter as a stylist as well.
Okay.
I like him.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. And
you know him or
something? Scotty B.
You know him?
Scotty B. I don't know him personally, no, but I know his work. Scotty B.
You like Scotty B?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A vibe. So, you know.
Yeah, she's a vibe. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so tell me about you, because I saw that you did a Get Ready With Me for Beyonce's Renaissance.
Yes.
So like you do a lot of Get Ready With Me's, but like what and I know like I feel like this concert was definitely like, of course it's Beyonce, but it was so fun like getting ready for the concert, like what am I gonna wear, and like I want to look creative, wig, and I do this and this, like, you know. So how fun was that when you did the Get Ready With Me?
Okay, yeah. So when I bought my Beyonce like tickets, I was like, I need my fit to give, and I found this like 2-piece set in Zara, and I was like, this is going to be the base of my outfit, but I don't know what else is gonna like build on top of it. I don't know if I'm gonna put something on top of it or whatever. And I had the outfit for like 2 months before the concert. But so I bought that, and I was like, okay, got this, boom. And then of course the months go by, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a bomb fit.
Change your mind.
I was like, I don't have anything. Like, I literally procrastinated, travel got in the way, all the things. So what did I do? I got on the Amazons, and I was like, what am I going to find that's going to give Renaissance? So my outfit was kind of, the theme of it was Alien Superstar, was kind of like my inspiration. And I found this like leotard that was like the metallic kind of thing. And I was like, okay. And then I found this like cover up that had the pearls, and you know, she says pearls in the song. So yeah, that's kind of how I built the outfit. And I was like, ooh,
it was so cute.
Thank you.
Like I feel like you definitely, it was tasteful. Like it was it was just good. Like it didn't feel like you tried too hard, but it still came out really nice.
I tried to keep it my style.
Your hair was good too.
Thank you. Thank you. I tried to keep it my style. I mean, again, like I love the Houston girly shorts, boots, hat vibes. I love all of the like full costumes that the girlies are wearing, like truly. But I just wanted it to speak to my style, and I felt like that gave exactly what it needed to. I'm still mad that they didn't let me bring my fan into that damn stadium.
I was so, because I was like, I almost brought my fan in from the car, but I was like, they're gonna probably take it. I'm like, I'm gonna leave it in the car.
Yeah. We walked in. We got there early. If we had gotten there later, but the Obamas and
they were there.
Yeah, Kamala Harris, they were there the day that we went, and
they were all there. Yeah,
because we got there early. Had we gotten there a little bit later, it would have been fine. We would have walked in fine, because people were coming in with 7. We got there at like 5:30, I think.
Me too.
Yeah, and they were like, nah. And I was like, and Ash was like,
I remember I saw Ashley, and I was like, she looked familiar.
Yeah, so she walked around, or she wanted to walk around to the other gates to see if they would let us in, but me and my friend were both in heels, and I had sandals with me. My friend didn't.
I had heels too.
Yeah, my friend didn't have sandals, and so I was like, I don't want to make her like, you know, walk in these heels. So yeah, we ended up having to get a locker. I couldn't even bring my purse in. I had this cute ass Bottega bag,
really?
Girl, metallic, and they said it was too big.
Damn. Yeah. I think yes, you said that you were scared that it was going to be too big.
Yeah, I knew I was rolling the dice, but I had gotten in with a bag that large before, and it wasn't even into FedEx, like into stadiums, arenas, all the things. And I was like, I know I'm rolling the dice, but like, I know I can do it. And lots of people did. People got in with bags bigger than mine.
But it was clear bag.
It wasn't. It was like solid color bags that were bigger than mine, but they stopped carrying after a certain period. Exactly.
Anyway, but yeah, I had fun too. I wore the same boots, but I had like some black patent leather ones with the I had to like give something. I was like, oh yes, I needed to, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, but the dress was from Fashion Nova. It was whatever, but I made it mine.
Yes, exactly.
So I feel like I still was giving, and people were complimenting me. I was like, oh really? You think it's really giving like a lot right now?
Girl, hello, same. I got my stuff from Amazon and Zara, so like I wasn't giving. You know, people are like going out buying these crazy outfits.
That's why the name brands don't matter. It's the way you put it together, the way you style it. Before we close, I want to know, what are your goals? Like, you know, I feel like just content creation can be a very lucrative career, and you're getting all these brand deals, but like, where do you see yourself like down the line?
Yeah. So, for me personally, like I love the brand deals. I love working with brands, and I want to continue to do so, but I think for me, a lot of people now, like influencers are developing products. There's like Desi who has her products. You know, a lot of influencers have their products. They have their clothing lines and things like that. For me, I think I want to provide a service down the line. I have my background in PR, so I would love to create an agency of my own or be a consultant or something like that. So I think that's in my future. If I do decide to develop a product or a service of any kind, I also would love to do something that helps Black women and children. I would love to do something that is mental health like focused and things like that. So yeah, I think there's so many ideas that I have. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, for sure, for me, consulting, doing something to help other people who are in this profession navigate it, understand the jargon, the contracts, things like that is definitely in my future. I would love to develop a product, but I think right now I'm in a place where I just want to provide a service. I want to help people. And like my life path number, I'm like really big on that kind of spiritual stuff. My life path number is 9.
Well, so what's that mean?
So it basically, like, if you go into the app Horos, it'll like tell you your life path number and all that kind of stuff. Similarly to like the other apps where you can like just put in your birthday, all that kind of stuff. So it tells you your life path number, and mine is 9, and that basically means that I'm like destined for a life of service. I'm destined for a life to like help people, and things like that. And like, although for me, like the finer things in life may not be the end goal, they'll always be presented to me in some way, shape, or form. So like, you know, like stuff like that. I think that I definitely want to find a way to help other people, other creators, other creatives, you know, achieve their dreams as well.
Yeah, that's what's up. I really like that. I feel like you are very genuine, and I feel like your intentions, as long as you have genuine intentions and you just mean well, I feel like anyone will be successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I definitely get that from you.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're a kind soul. I get the aura, like a kind aura from you. I like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on my platform. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a great conversation.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna have fun editing the part where you were picking between Clueless and Mean Girls.
Oh my god.
Okay. So guys, thank you guys for tuning in to Heard the Podcast. You guys can follow Erin. Where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm across all platforms at the Esperanza Maria, and Esperanza is ESPERANZA. So yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. Make sure you guys listen to Her the Podcast and watch us on YouTube, HER'_D. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. Bye y'all.
Bye.